We're going to wrap up our today with this is a talk on developing a growth mindset. Growth mindset is a topic or a concept that has been especially pioneered by Dr. Carol Dweck. And so I just want to dive into this, and you may have heard these things before. All right, let me get that off of there. And I've got this quick little video, and you'll see why I am not a professional artist when we see this video here. All right.
You know, sometimes it can be so sweet, just floating in life's ocean. The sun is out, the birds are singing, the warm ocean breeze on our face. But inevitably, storms are going to rise, and the winds are going to blow us to places that we never wanted to go. And our life is threatened, and we think we're not going to make it. And we look around, and we see others aren't getting blown around in the same way. They're at peace, they're at rest, and they're not getting blown where they don't want to go. It's these times when we need to let our values go deep and be a keel, and let our vision and our purpose be the rudder that uses that same storm that would have destroyed us and take that wind to propel us to places that we could only have dreamed of. Don't let the storm you're going through right now blow you around. Instead, put your keel down deep and your rudder in the water and set course for your destiny, and let this storm propel you.
All right. See, that's my art. Pretty awesome.
Sounds good.
All right. If you want, no wonder I was best in class. That's right. You see some raw natural talent right there. So Dweck talks about a mindset. It's the definition. Her definition of mindset is how a person approaches these 5 things: a challenge or an obstacle, effort, criticism, and success of others. These are not what we would typically call pleasant things. And what she defines as a growth or fixed mindset is how do we approach these things. Now, a fixed mindset is the belief that our abilities, our intelligence, and our talents, that they are static, right? That they don't change over time. What we're born with from our grandparents, right? As we learned earlier. And we're born in a certain neighborhood. We're born with a certain intellect. And determinism is a hallmark of a fixed mindset. This is just the way it is, right? God must have meant for me to be here if I was just born in this place. And this is just the class I was born in. It's the whatever. It's the family that I was born in. It's the group. And the interesting thing, and when you have a fixed mindset, is you have a desire to look smart, right? You want to put up a facade because since these things don't change, I want you to think the best of me, all right? And it doesn't quite make sense except when you think about a growth mindset, which thinks that my abilities, my intelligence, and talents, those things are dynamic. I can change these things through effort and through persistence, right? That I actually have some agency in where my life goes from here. So now I don't need to look smart, because as soon as somebody points out a flaw or I have an area of growth identified, it's not a devaluing of me, it's actually identifying a way for me to grow, right? And think about this: if you were on a sports team and a coach never told you something that you were doing wrong, right? What would you think? I'm the best, right? But you're not, right? And how do we interpret when the coach never tells us something's wrong, right? Clearly, I'm not the best. I'm clearly not worth being coached, right? And I'm just going to stay here. But that growth mindset, though, is actually looking for these things, these obstacles. And here's how they tend to respond to these things. So a fixed mindset is going to try to avoid challenges. However, a growth mindset is going to embrace challenges. Why? A fixed mind says basically, this challenge is coming here. I'm not going anywhere. This challenge is really here to take away from me. This challenge is here to injure me, to devalue me, to put me, even lower. Whereas a growth mindset says on the other side of a challenge is actually opportunity for growth, right? Think of it back to the sports again, right? If you're going for the championship, you're expecting to play the hardest teams, right? You're hoping that next challenge is coming at you. Same thing with obstacles. A fixed mindset's going to give up easily when an obstacle shows up because there's nothing of value on the other side of it, right? All this is doing is taking from me, right? Whereas a growth mindset sees on the other side of an obstacle, I'm going to persist through an obstacle because I know there's something on the other side. Think about it, if you're learning a new painting technique. Is it easy or difficult that first time you use that painting technique? It's difficult, right? But if the only way to mastery, and you think of this with effort as well, effort for a fixed mindset, it's just going to make me tired. It's going to drain me. But a growth mindset sees on the other side of effort is that's the path to mastery, right? We know this in some places. We know in the gym, right? We know in the gym, when we walk into a gym, are we looking for the least obstacles and the least challenge, or are we looking for the greatest obstacle that we can handle, the greatest challenge that we can handle, right? That's the growth mindset, is actually looking for those things, recognizing this may be difficult now, but as I go through and put the effort into this difficulty, there's mastery on the other side. It won't always be difficult. It's true for our relationships. It's true in our work. It's true even in our spirituality. There's some awkwardness when we first sit down to pray, right? There's effort. There's distractions. When it comes to criticism, a fixed mindset is going to ignore it. Why? Oh, haters just going to hate, right? And so when somebody's criticizing me, I just need to ignore it, right? We even get that advice sometimes. You just need to not listen to it. It's a pretty fragile mindset, honestly. Whereas a growth mindset says there's something to learn from this criticism. My daughter's in ballet, and when she was young, I would ask her, hey, how was your day? How was your day at ballet today? And it was interesting to me. I thought there was something really messed up about my daughter. She would say, oh, it was a great day. I got 2 corrections. Or she's like, I didn't get any corrections today. I haven't gotten any corrections in 2 weeks. I'm like, great. She's like, no, not great. Right? Because I'm thinking, hey, no corrections in 2 weeks? I must be doing awesome. That's not how she interpreted it. She's like, if I'm not getting corrections, I'm not getting better. And they either think I'm not worth correcting, right? Or they don't like me, and they just don't want to correct me. They don't think I could take the correction or handle it, or they're investing in other people. Really, really interesting mindset, right? And we need to, huh?
How old was she?
Well, she was probably about 11 or 12 at that point. Now ballet is horrible about this part, success of others, right? The fixed mindset, you feel threatened when others succeed, but a growth mindset, you actually find lessons when others succeed. When I see somebody else succeeding, they're not taking away my success that I could have had, right? Think about how prevalent this is right now, this scarcity and fixed mindset in our conversations about DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, where we have a limited amount of success available and we have to distribute that. Instead of understanding there's unlimited success available if we understand who we are and can pursue it, right? So we find lessons as that growth mindset. Okay, so here's some ways to develop growth mindset in ourselves and even in our team. The power of yet is what Dr. Dweck talks about. And so it doesn't mean we overlook shortcomings, but we say you haven't arrived yet. You haven't become this yet, right? This is yet where we are to go. And instead of evaluating things like intelligence, you were so smart, you were so talented, and that's why you did this, evaluate in terms of things like effort and strategies. Like, that was really good effort, or let's put more effort, or that strategy was interesting, maybe there's a better strategy to pursue, right? Or man, it was really good keeping your focus on that, or your perseverance, or this was better than before. So when we evaluate on those types of dimensions, we're actually fostering a growth mindset. Whereas like, oh, effort is the thing that I need. Perseverance is the thing that I need, right? Strategies are the things. Perseverance, improving, getting better. Those are the things that we need. So those are the ways that we can develop a growth mindset both in ourselves and in others. So I just want to give a quick overview, because the way that we see things, remember that inner tube, exactly same environment, same winds, same storms, right? But a fixed mindset is just along for the ride, right? And you're going to end up going where you don't want to go. But that growth mindset says, even if this is a sucky email written in all caps, right? Or it's an argument about ready to happen, or a disagreement. How do we frame that thing? Is this about to take away from me, or is there an opportunity for growth on the other side of it, right? So this is a challenge for all of us to reframe the next crummy email that we get, the next difficult conversation that we have, the next challenging relationship or difficult task that we have in front of us. All right, thank you.